Here we are. We finally made it at a standing Indian campground. We're kind of disheveled here. Everything's all over the place, but we're getting our gear together. Tomorrow morning Joyce is come picking us up. We're going to spend a night here. Very nice place. Weather's nice. Mountains are nice. Park is full, but we got ourselves a nice campsite. So we got wood, and we're going to start a nice fire tonight, eat dinner, and go to bed, get up early, and get ready to tackle those mountains. So what do you think, Nance?
Beautiful here so far. Got to get organized, but we are. We'll be ready to go tomorrow, and I may be referring to Tom as Woodstock.
And she is bewildered.
I'm bewildered. We decided we're going to have some fun with this trip and give ourselves some trail names. So if you hear us referring to each other in those names, you'll know what we're talking about.
Tom/Woodstock, Nancy/bewildered. So that's us.
We're going to go for a walk now, check out the Kinsey Creek, have some dinner, and get to bed.
Yep, so
See you
good night.
tomorrow.
Well, come to find out, I'm an idiot. And we left Neels Gap this morning, and I did get some pictures there, but I wasn't doing the videos right. But we're 3 miles past Neels Gap right now. We did a couple summits. Right now we're at Rock Spring Top, is it? Something like that. We had to stop in Neels Gap because last night was pretty bad sleeping at a standing Indian campground. There was a lot of noise, and our piece of crap thermarest, what do we call it? Things you put on your sleeping bags didn't work well. So we bit the bullet and went to Neels Gap Outfitters, and we bought a really good thermarest one.
Bought one. We're going to take turns with it.
So, well, we left there. Other than that, pretty tired today, but we're feeling good, and what a beautiful day. We got up this morning, and it was just excellent weather. It's excellent weather right now. We'll be doing a lot more videos now that I got it down pat again. So, anything else?
I'm having a great time. Loving the weather, loving the
time.
Quiet.
It's about 1:05 on October 14th.
We got on the trail at 10,
yeah.
11:40?
No, 10:43 exactly.
10:40 we started.
10:43 we did start. So,
and
we're on the what I call the R&R trail, not rest and relaxation, not rock and roll, but rocks and roots. So, this is Bewildered, and this is Woodstock, and we're signing off for now, but we'll catch up with you later. This is Wolf Laurel Top. 3.37 miles in from Neels Gap. Decent view. I think it's about 3,600 feet. And very pretty day. Here we are at what I say 4.8 miles. We've got about another 100 and some feet to get to Cow Rock Mountain. I don't know why it's called Cow Rock. I guess it was a pasture at one time, which will bring us at 5.1 miles for the day. It is 2:36, and we're huffing, but I'll tell you what, I'm pretty proud of us so far, what we're doing. And at this rate, hopefully we'll get into Whitley's Gap before 5 o'clock. So
it's a beautiful view right here. We just wanted to share it.
Yeah, beautiful view at the end of the rocks here.
Hope you can appreciate it.
Yep. Here we are in Cow Rock Mountain. Some people up here is feeding his dog. Beautiful sunny day. Nancy's going to get our lunch ready for us. What's for lunch today, Nancy?
I'm having tortilla shells with cheese and salami.
Ooh.
And it's 2:50, and Tom's finally letting us have lunch.
I'm
Slave driver.
Slave driver. morning today. It is 10 to 8 and we're just rolling out of bed here at Whitley Gap. Nancy is still sleeping in here soundly.
Yeah.
There she is. Anyway, I gotta go to the bear bags and get our coffee and food, and I'll show you what they look like. These are the Boy Scouts from Cleveland, Georgia. There he is.
Hi.
I guess you didn't get eaten by a bear last night, right? There's the Boy Scouts this morning. Everybody make it? It's like my bear bag made it.
Sunday morning, we're at Whitney Shelter. We spent the night here. It was a fine night. Tom's filling water up. This isn't one of the best water supplies we're going to come across. There's actually a pipe that runs through and drains out here. So he's filled up 3 squeeze systems,
What do you want me to do?
little bladders, and we have to filter it through our Sawyer water filter. And
What you want me to put in?
right now he's filling up my
You want me to do
my bladder for my pack. A liter.
a liter?
There's his filter. Screw it onto the water bag.
Dirty water?
Dirty water. It's going to come out clean. Do you need a hand with that?
No, I got it.
That's my Osprey water bladder
Hydrating.
hydrating system that Tom got for me, and I used it yesterday and I loved it. It's just so convenient.
Okay, we left Whitley Gap last night. This morning. We left there at what time, Nance?
10:50.
10:50. And it's 11:47 now, so we made it out of that 1.2 miles in about 30 minutes. And it was a rough day yesterday, to say the least. It was super challenging, more challenging than I had expected it to be. We started out in Neels Gap and we were high hopes and things were going good. About 5 miles out, we got up to Wildcat Mountain and we're giving each other high fives. We're making it there. Well, lo and behold, the descent from Cow Rock was like hell. It was rocks and roots and actually large drops where you had to really be careful. And that brought us down into kind of like, there was a little parking area there. And we met some fellow hikers there that were kind of following us, switch forward, hop, back and forth. We were passing them, they were passing us, and they were saying they were thinking about going to Whitley, but then they never showed up. But so anyway, we said okay. We took a short break there, and then we headed out, and we had to go up Wildcat Mountain. Well, I'll tell you what, that just blew us apart. It was switchback after switchback after switchback, and stairways to hell. And we finally got to the top, and my God, we were spent. We wanted to do a helicopter lift out. But then we got to the Whitley Gap thing and we needed water. My God, I carried 2 750 milliliter bottles and I had a drop. Nancy actually shared her water with me. The girl I wouldn't want to be in the desert with, well, I was the guy you wouldn't want to be in the desert with. And so we had to go because it's a phenomenal water source, and it was fantastic. I mean, it was just cold and clear and really good flow. And finally it was a mile, 1.2 miles down to the shelter, and there was a group of people there. There was a whole bunch of Boy Scouts. They were really cool. I mean, they were so nice, those kids. There were some Boy Scout troop out of Cleveland, Georgia. There was two Scout Masters who were excellent, and I'd say there was about 10 kids, all ranging probably from 8 to 12, somewhere in that thing. But we were down there getting water, and it was yes sir, no ma'am. They stuck together. They were encouraging, and I guess they're headed to Unicoi or somewhere like.
Already there, 'cause they run through
Yeah, them little son of guns. They were going down there and they were running past me and hopping, skipping like I wanted to trip one of them, but you know, it didn't happen. So, so anyway, there was a good night there. We got water. I must have drank a gallon right off the bat. We cooked up dinner, and I was surprised I really wasn't that hungry. But I did get a good night's sleep last night. I got to say, for me, to sleep 6 or 7 hours, even in a bed, is good. So anyway, we're coming down, as you can see, we're coming down to Ogpen. Today's goal is to make it to Low Gap. We got about 5 miles to go there, and there's a shelter there, and I think there's a water source there too. I'll check on the way, but we should be good. This is what you call determination to grow. This tree, which is alive, is going right out of this rock. And it's right on the trail, right, honey?
Yeah. Awesome.
We are, at this point, about a mile out from Low Gap Shelter. Now, we don't know if we're going to stay there or not, because 0.3 miles past that is our water source, and 0.1 mile past that is what they call poplar camping. It's like 5 or 6 really nice campsites there, so we can get our water and maybe stay there. And that would probably be about 3 miles from where we are right now. So it's only, what time is it right now? It's 2:49. So I could probably arrive there about 4:30. See you there. I don't know if you can how this is going to look, but look at this descent down there. That is one major drop off, and if you look at the trail up behind us, it's not that pretty narrow. And then you walk along these edges, one slip and you're a goner. So,
It's very slippery here.
good morning. It is almost 11 o'clock. We left Low Gap Shelter at 10:15. It was about a 7-mile hike yesterday. We kind of lost it at last mile as usual. We pulled into there, walked into there, and there was this girl that's been in our bubble. She was there at the shelter. Another person was there, and there were some other people leaving. So we decided, hey, let's do the whole AT experience and stay in the shelter. Well, that was a good move, because I'll tell you what, we got in there at 10, I'd say around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, all hell broke loose on the rain. It just was a steady rain. These guys came in, 4 guys. One of them stayed in the shelter. The other 2 were
Checking in. Not sure what part of our conversation we thought earlier. We had a dead battery issue, so we had to wait till we stopped to put a new one in. Just had a little lunch. I'm not sure what mountain we're on top of right now because we're just constantly up and down all day. It's always tough coming into camp. We never know how we're going to make it out the next day, but somehow we get through the night, get up, and feel pretty good, and do several miles. We're doing the best we can.
okay.
Really enjoying it though. Glad Woodstock got me out here. I'll always be thankful for that. Still having a little knee issue, but we've got some good vitamin I, and I'm staying on top of it with that. And we've just met some really nice people. We camped with some really nice people last night. and we were lucky we had the shelter, and a lot of them got stuck out in the rain, but they woke up this morning in great spirits. They were amazing. One guy's sleeping bag was soaking wet. He didn't care. He had a great night. They're just all happy, good sports, and it's just so nice to see people with positive attitude like that. Talk to you later.
And I just want to add a couple things to that. The shelter was really good. I was very happy with it. It was our first experience with that. Mice issues are always a thing in there, but there was this girl that hikes a lot. Real, her name is, and she put a dryer rag, or what do they call those? Dryer sheet on there, and we didn't have any mice issues. Early this morning, just as the light was starting to come up, I saw one climbing up the pole next to me, but didn't bother us, didn't chew any holes in our stuff. And so we're about 5 miles into our hike today already. 1.6 miles we're going to go to, there's a tent site there. It is about 1:20 now, so it'd probably be about 2:20 or a little after 2 before we got there. So we're not sure we're going to stay there. It depends on how we feel, how Nancy's bewildered knee feels. And if not, we're going to push on to the next shelter, which is 2.6 miles. So hopefully we'll get there safe, and it's starting to get nice out, and finally the sun's out. So we'll see you later. Bye from the trail. We are just past Chattahoochee Gap, and we got sort of a slight decline here. Sun came out, warmed up a little bit. I'd say it's probably in the low 60s right now. So we're supposed to get down to the mid-30s tonight. It's going to be our coldest night. That front came through last night, all that rain, and it's just going to be a very, very cold night. So we're going to tent up tonight, get everything ready to get warm, and what's going to be hard probably is getting up tomorrow morning in that cold. So this is such a pretty area. We've come across so many of these mountains already, and there's Bewildered making her way. She has a hard time going down. I have a hard time going up, but it's because of the little problem she's having with her knee. So see you soon. Talk to her soon. Okay. Yeah. Look at this. We've been on these for about 200 or 300 yards now. Just a sea of rocks, slippery rocks. And this is to get to Blue Mountain Shelter, Blue Mountain. I'm just boulder after boulder after boulder. Watch your step there.
Going up the hill while we're doing it,
Yeah.
pretty much on level ground, some up and down, but not like it was on Wolf Mountain. It's all good though.
We're close to the shelter. It's a tree coming down. Did you hear that? That was a tree falling down. I got it on, not a,
Did you get it? You're kidding me.
nope.
Whoa.
Yep, that was a whole tree coming down. Wow, I just turned on the camera and I was looking at some of this damage from Irma, and sure and behold, we hear this rumbling. It sounded like fireworks, and it was a giant tree coming down. Unreal. All right, we made it all the way to Blue Mountain Shelter, and we did about 7 miles today. Tough, but not as tough. We're all set up. We got here about 3:30, so our pace was pretty good. It's going to be very cold tonight. It's going to be in the 30s. It's chilly out right now. Matter of fact, Nancy and I are having a little vodka and water.
You better going to go to the shelter, see how everybody made out today.
Yep.
All the same people here that we had at the shelter last night.
It's a little bubble we're in.
Visit
So
with them. We enjoy all of them.
yep. So that is up that way, and stay tuned. Here we are at the shelter. These guys are making a fire. There's a reel over there. They're
Yeah, that's okay. We can handle it.
gonna have a big fire here tonight, huh?
I got a lot of clothes to dry out.
Oh, that's right. How about your sleeping bag? You
It's
gotta
all
dry
hanging
that out
Sleeping
too.
bag's water resistant on the outside, so the inside will be warm.
Hey, reel. There she is. What's your name? No,
Me? Oh, Eric.
Eric. Eric from Illinois.
Illinois.
Firefighter.
Firefighter.
Fire maker.
There's the old guy of the bunch right there. He's from Illinois too.
How was your day?
How was your day?
Pretty good.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. 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 Yeah, it wasn't as hard today. Definitely not as hard.
Not as long either.
You gonna switch in shelter tonight?
Yeah, I'm already set up here.
There's the hammock, guys. Also from Illinois.
Drying out from last night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. It is starting to get cold. I mean cold. What is the menu tonight, darling?
Oh, we are having Alfredo, chicken Alfredo. And last time I cooked it, it was a little bit watery. So we're going to add a little bit of Idaho
Potatoes?
potatoes.
Sounds good. I'm gonna eat it and go get my warm
Plus I got to
sleeping
take
bag.
2 items out of my pack, so
Oh,
we'll be that much later
I haven't
tomorrow.
taken any out of mine. Okay. Good night, everybody. Morning,
That's probably night to you.
honey. Good morning. Come on.
Check out the sunrise. Look at me.
Sunrise at Blue Mountain Shelter. It's about 38 degrees.
7:50 in the morning.
7:50 in the morning.
Freezing cold. right?
Freezing, freezing cold. But hopefully that sun will come up and warm us up here.
Like some hot coffees and
Oh yeah,
oatmeal.
there's the shelter up there. There's a couple tents, people. I slept great last night. Of course, I was on the mat, the good mat. And, but I went to bed at 7 o'clock. And I woke up about 4 in the morning. That's a lot of hours for me. And fell asleep again. And here we are.
Been early out today.
Headed up to the top of Blue Mountain first this morning. We'll take some pictures and photos there. Then we got 1,000-foot descent into Unicoi Gap. So, see you then. Good morning. We just left Blue Mountain Shelter, where we camped out for the night. Got down to, I think I mentioned, around, what did I say, 38? 38, 36, 38. It was around that. It was down in Hiawassee though. God knows what it was up here.
Morning.
Morning, Bewildered.
Still trying to warm up.
She's cold. She don't like getting up in the morning when it's cold. So, met some really cool people on this trip. The group from Illinois were pretty cool. Real, we met her. She's a dynamite lady. Gave us a lot of really valuable information while we're up here. Seasoned hiker. And all around very nice. I want to also mention this Appalachian Trail Conservancy, or whatever it's called. the guys that come up here and have been clearing this path, making it just so beautiful for everybody. And I guess 90% of them, it's all volunteer work. So hats off to you. Beautiful day. I think the temperature now is probably up in the, what do you think it is, high 40s?
Yeah.
Up in the 40s. Perfect hiking weather. We're working our way up. It's a so far a slow incline, but working our way to the top of Blue Mountain, which is 4,010 feet. So far, I think that's the highest we'll be so far. And I'll see you up on the top. Well, we're kind of at the top of Blue Mountain. Thought I'd have more of a view than I see. But if you look, those mountains over there is where we came. We started way off to there. We summited all these mountains, coming all the way up and around, all through this area. Stand at 4,010 feet. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. No bears. Haven't seen any bears. Lots of chipmunks. Been hearing coyotes, couple one night. Lots of owls. You hear grouse too. You hear grouse off in the woods making that clunking sound. Really nice.
Looks like a fresh fall from Irma.
Yeah, this is, you can see one of a tree got knocked over here from Irma. This is what the Trail Conservancy does. They come through here, and they don't use chainsaws a lot of time either. They use hand band saws because they can't get that equipment up here. So, okay, maybe we'll stop somewhere before we get to Unicoi, but headed to Unicoi Gap. There's a sound I didn't want to hear for a while. Sound of a car coming down into Unicoi Gap. Oh, it's rugged. It's a 1,000-foot descent, and it's, if you look up behind me, it's all rocks. It's rocks going up. But what a view. What a beautiful day. I'm telling you, there's not a cloud in the sky. It's so gorgeous here. It's just so gorgeous. There's Nancy making her way ahead of me on the rocks. Okay. I don't know if you can hear this off in the distance, but this is the sounds of these grouse. Pretty cool. Hi. It's it's what morning? Thursday morning. This is the first we're on the trail after our break that we needed desperately to take some showers, break down our gutter car, and spend the night in Hiawassee, and we stayed at the Budget Inn, which we didn't want to, but we kind of got tricked into it, and but it turned out to be okay. He said $60 cash. Then when I got there, he goes, "Oh, you're hikers." He said, "It's only $45." So the rooms were decent. We got a good night's sleep. Anyway, so we're back on the trail, and we parked and drove over about an hour to Woody Gap parking area, and we are heading southbound. And I'll explain that all later, but we're headed southbound to Gooch Gap Shelter, which isn't far. I think it was like 4.2 miles or something, and we may be going beyond that, but we'll see. So tonight will be our last night at a camp. I know, and we are sad about it. You learn to love these woods, even as challenging as they are, and the aches and pains and the sores.
you tend to love your backpack and your trekking poles. They become part of your body, and you miss the people out here in the woods, in the solitude and quiet. So it's been a lot of fun. It's not over yet. We still got a ways to go to our shelter tonight. We're going to resupply. We're going to cross a couple of little streams that we're going to resupply water in. We're also going to set up camp and have a dinner. I probably dropped, right now I'm carrying probably at least 10 to 12 pounds less. Feels like I'm floating on air, to tell you the truth. And it's what it should have been in the beginning. Lessons learned, but that's what we're all out here about. My knees are holding up fine. Nancy got a little knee compression brace that she seems to be using, and so far so good. I guess the only real thing on me is on my left toe, one of my toes, it almost looks like the nail's coming off. Yuck, yep, it's pretty nasty. But I Lukey taped it up, and I'm feeling good, so that's it. This so far has been an easy walk. And we kind of picked one of those easier walks. I don't know, I'm saying that now, but I don't know what's up ahead. We're doing a couple summits, so we'll see. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. It was cold last night, and it's supposed to be only down in the low 40s tonight. I'd say it's about, 45, 46 degrees right now. And there's Bewildered. She dropped some of her poundage, too, off her pack. And yeah, so she's doing good. Anything you want to add to our morning?
No, so far so good. I did want to mention, not yet today, but in some of the bigger mountains, when we had to start our 2020 rule. I don't know if we talked about that.
I think we did, but that was, yeah.
But that's because we were just not used to the elevation. And that was really killing us. The air, it's like breathing syrup or something. It was so thick and dense.
And the incline was a very steep incline, which was really a lung buster for us doing that. So, yeah.
So the air's different, but it's nice air.
And you know what they say? Through hikers always say that after a week or two you start to get your trail legs and you get stronger and things like that. I don't think we've reached that point yet, but I tell you what, I'm feeling a lot stronger, and I feel a lot more comfortable on the trail, and so does Bewildered. It's, we've been out here now doing this for a while, so we're gonna carry on, and I'll get back to you here in a little bit. Here we are at the top of I don't know, because we've been out here so many days that they're all starting to look alike, except this one here is a little more magnificent than the rest. I think this is the view that I think we were over that way, that we came over those mountains all over there. But we've been 5 days on the trail here, holding up pretty good. We're getting stronger, it seems like, getting used to our trail legs. We've loosened up a little bit. We lightened up our load quite a bit. And onward. We're going to Gooch Gap Shelter or beyond, and I'll explain that later, because if you follow a map, that kind of doesn't make sense. So here we are, and we'll talk to you soon. Sometimes it's much easier to be videotaping it when you're walking along these steady ridge running trails. It's pretty hard when you're summiting or ascending or descending these hills to be videotaping, but these are doable. I'll tell you, going up those steep mountains may take your breath away, but it's nothing like going downhill. If there's any injuries to be happening to you, it's going to happen on a descent. Toes get crushed, your knees hurt. Believe me, if you've had any of these problems prior to hiking, they come out and rear their ugly head twofold when you're out on the trail. But that's why we're here, and I love it.
This says Nancy's arriving now at the Gooch Gap shelter area. We just walked about 7 miles to get here, and we're going down a short Blue Blaze Trail, which is going to take us to the shelter and to hopefully a nice water supply. As you can see, when you get to these blue blazes, they're the ones off of the main White Blaze Trail of the Appalachian Trail. So we'll see you at the shelter. Here we are at Gooch Gap shelter. A few people here. Take a walk down here to the water. They've got this thing all wired off here because they're trying to get the vegetation back. So everything's roped off with little tags on it. And this shelter here, I'll take a picture of it later. This is a 2-story shelter. What do you mean? There's some other ones down there. We can. No, they've got pathways to them. You'll see they have pathways to them. Yeah. Yeah. Let's take a walk around. Maybe we can find. I was talking to Nancy here, bewildered, and we're trying to maybe find a little bit more of a private or campsite. There's my finger in front of the lens again. Gotta learn now to stop doing that. So we dumped our stuff off, and we're backpack free right now. Headed down to, as you can see, they close these things off because of revegetation. It's kind of different from where we were. There's the privy up there. Oops. And all sorts of information about trying to get this back together after, I don't know, from Hurricane Irma, just for use of people. But anyway, headed down to the water supply, and we'll talk to you later. Here we are. Nancy is soaking her feet again in our water source, but it's a cute little photo here. Anyways, yep, downstream. This is a piped water supply that comes in. This is about 100 yards down from the shelter. And seems like every time we do a thing, I hear an airplane going over. But I think I'm getting ready to run low on this battery, and I'll have to have one more battery for the rest of the trip there till I get them charged up. What a beautiful day. Pretty day in the woods. And some guys up here from Georgia that'll be spending the night. There was one young kid there that headed up to Virginia. He's got a long way ahead of him. So, anything you want to say, Nance, before this battery runs out? Yeah, tired. Hello. We are doing a quick recap here of our post hike, our section hike on the AT. We ended up going from Neels Gap in Georgia up to Unicoi. Took a couple days off and then came back to the trail and did another 11.5 miles.
We wanted to stay on the trail, but it got too cold. Got down in the 30s, weren't prepared for it. So we had to get off, got off for a couple nights, and it was still cold. So we did another in and out, didn't spend the night.
My original goal was to do like 63 miles. That was, and no pun intended, was a lofty goal that we could have done it, but we needed more time. It just wasn't realistic for the amount of time that we had. So, but what we did do, I feel, was a pretty good accomplishment for our first time out there. I was very happy with our success on the trail. We had one night where we stayed in the shelter, which was nice because we had to stay in the shelter.
it was pouring raining from about 10 at night till about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So all in all, it was an excellent trip. There was a lot of things that we shouldn't have brought. We were way overpacked. I was way overweighted.
Brought home 7 pounds of food.
7 pounds of food we returned with, and gave some away.
We didn't realize we weren't going to be that hungry.
And we gave some away to a hiker that was up there, a couple meals. Things that I just, odds and ends, and little nitpick things. The gear that I liked was my backpack. Loved my backpack. Nancy loved hers. It was just worked absolutely great. If I have one complaint about it, it's only the zippers on the, but that's, I wouldn't use them anyway.
So we had the Osprey backpacks. I had the Osprey hydration system, which I used the entire time, and I loved it.
Okay, and I think we got a trip planned here in January. We're gonna do a section of the Florida Trail, which I will use it then because of I'll know not to carry so much. The other thing I loved was I wouldn't go anywhere without these trekking poles. They were fantastic.
Trekking poles were
I mean,
great.
it saved us many falls, slips, rolled ankles, knees, everything. It's just, they're amazing.
Helped us up the hills.
Yep, that was very good.
And Merrill's shoes were great. We both had Merrill's. I
Yeah.
love mine. I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah, mine were good. I'd
Mine.
give them
I give mine a 5-star.
I give mine a 4. A little clunkier than I'd want. I think next time I do more of a trail shoe than a boot type like that. But these will work good for me for a while. And the other thing I liked, I didn't need to bring that solo stove. That's going to be great for my kayak camping, car camping, that type of stuff, but not on the trail. It just didn't have time to gather sticks and twigs and all that and start.
So luckily we had taken the other stove.
The MSR
with
pocket
a small
rocket.
gas canister.
Yes.
Got us by just fine.
It was great. So it weighs a lot less, so we'll be bringing that. The other thing, my tent worked real well. Absolutely real. I guess it wasn't really tested in the rain, but I know it worked, and it was a really nice, plenty of room for both of us, and we did real well. And both our sleeping bags did real well.
The Aegis
And a hike and bike.
Yeah.
And
That's good.
we had met a lot of really nice people there. We were in a bubble at very first where we met somebody named, what was his name? Bubbles?
Oh, Bubbles.
Bubbles, he was real
we
nice.
named him Bubbles
he
because
was,
he just said he felt all bubbly inside being on the trail
Right.
and being out in
and
the
he was
fresh
with
air.
a couple younger guys. And
Yeah.
then we had the 4 hikers from Illinois,
Couple firefighters
and,
and EMTs in there.
and the older guy, Cookies,
Cookie.
who went on. He's section hiking. He's trying to do the whole AT in the next 10 years. But he finished up Georgia. And then we met a really nice lady that's been hiking a lot. She did a 7-week stint there for a while. Her name was Real, her trail name. And by the name, we did give ourselves some trail name. I was Woodstock, and Nancy was Bewildered. And we did sign a couple one log with it.
Oh yeah, at the shelter. Yeah, signed in at one of the shelters.
So we're back. We knees hurt a little bit, shoulder didn't hurt, toes hurt. I mean, just the usual stuff out there. Nancy had little problems with her knees also.
But it's all good.
It's all good.
Just loosening up those muscles again.
Yep.
Feels
And
good though.
Feels good. And
Accomplished.
yeah. So come January, we're going to do, at the end of January, we're going to do like 36 miles on the Florida Trail through Ocala, and we're going to bring pretty much same gear but a lot less of it, and I hope to get away with about 20 to 25 pounds total out there. So other than that, if you have anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I just want to say thanks for all the encouraging comments that people sent to us on Facebook. That was
Mhm.
fun.
Yes.
Kept us going.
Yep, and we got some nice video footage and some good still pictures. So if you like this, hit like and subscribe. I hope to do some more videos here, especially some kayak fishing, some kayak camping, some more trail videos.